So just to recap, pay attention now, guys. Okay, no talking, please, while I'm talking. Thank you. Leasing. Uh, we need to take into account possible mileage charge. Okay, there's always a limit. If you sign a lease contract, there's a limit on it because it's the biggest factor for affecting the value of the car. And so they don't want to lose money, obviously. So you have two scenarios where they may give you an allowance, and you need to multiply that allowance by the number of years that you're leasing for. So you'll figure out how many kilometers did you go over. That's one scenario. The other scenario is where just subtract the two numbers that are provided. There is no need to multiply the allowance by the number of years because they give you the full amount. Okay, so that's the difference here. So you just pick the right one. Once you figure out the kilometers past the limit, we calculate our mileage cost. You go kilometers past limit times the rate, and this is a maybe. This is a maybe. Okay, if the question says calculated after tax, you have to look at the question, does it give you this rate where taxes are already included? If taxes are included, do not do this step, right? So I will say this is a maybe. Just read the question carefully. Total payments, for example, like how much did this person pay over the 2, 3, 4-year lease? You take the payments times the number of months, and then maybe add taxes. It depends on whether or not it says, right, that the payment amount is already including taxes. So this is always a maybe. Okay, so don't think it's always going to be this no matter what. The total lease cost has three main components. There's a down payment, no tax on that, all of the payments combined, and the mileage cost. And then there's the buyout, which is the residual value, and you add taxes to it. Okay. All right, before we jump into the example, we're gonna add a few advantages and disadvantages on page 48. And I'm just gonna let you write them down. My writing hopefully is okay on this one. This is on page 48. So just copy these down. Okay. For leasing, in general, if you compare it to financing, like if you want to go to the bank and buy it and then make payments, leasing is always going to be lower. And think about it, leasing, you're only paying for part of the car, right? What you're using it for. And buying, you're paying for the entire car, right? So that's one appeal of leasing. If you keep leasing, if that's what you're going to do on a regular basis, then you're going to have a safer car because you're always going to have the latest safety features. If you own a business, this is only for businesses, right? You can write it off for tax purposes. You'll have lower maintenance costs because you have consistent warranty. I have to watch out. Some students think, oh, you just return it whenever. You can't return it whenever. You got to finish your lease, right? If you took out a phone, can you just return the phone whenever you want? No, you'll pay a penalty, right? So same here. So don't say you can return it whenever you want. That is not. You're actually going to lose marks if you say that. So you have to fulfill your agreement. Okay. Disadvantages. The biggest one, mileage restrictions, right? You can only drive so many kilometers. Perpetual payments. Perpetual means it just never stops. You always have a payment. You cannot use that car towards, we call it collateral, like you can't borrow money towards it. The bank will not see it as you owning it, so you can't use it for that. And you cannot modify it. Maybe I will add that to the right side, that you must complete lease term, okay, before returning it. So you can't just say, oh, I actually don't like it, I'm actually going to back out of this. You can't do that. You know what, there's so many more. You'll be charged for extra wear and tear. So if you had like animal, like pets, cats, anything in their dogs, and they shredded up the seats, you're gonna have to pay extra. I can guarantee you that. Okay. So yeah. Now we're gonna do our first example. Are we good? It's on the video. I can hand it to you later if you want to take a picture. I'm just gonna jump into the example so we can start working, okay? So if you're not quite done, let me know. I'll let you take a picture of this page. So let's go to page 49. So here we go. We're going to attempt to use our formulas as we see fit. A minivan sells for an MSRP. It stands for manufacturer suggested retail price. That's just the price that they suggest you sell it as a dealer for $479 per month plus tax. So all of this, when you read that, what does this tell you? That taxes are included in the $479, or you need to add taxes? You gotta add taxes. It's annoying, I know, but just read it. It's $479 plus tax. It doesn't say $479 taxes included. It says plus tax. So the assumption is that you have to do that yet. Okay. For a lease agreement of 24 months. So sometimes they give this in years. Sometimes they give it in months. There's your down payment. And there's a guaranteed residual value of 62%. So the residual value is 62% of whatever the MSRP was. Okay? Now, calculate the total payment amount after tax. So total payments I will just take my payment, I will multiply it by the number of months, and I will do the 1.12 in this case. So it's 479 times 24 times 1.12. So that's 12,875. 52. Come on in.
Can you grab for Alexis?
Alex.
Is this your class? Are you room 88?
Yeah, I'm 88, yeah. Alexis, that was last period. I think you're switching the classes. So.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, they're mixing up slots. Okay, calculate the total cost of the lease after tax. So what does a lease have? It's potentially down payment, total payments, plus mileage. There is no mileage in this example, okay? There's no mileage in this example. So we just need to figure out these two here. So total would be 1,500 plus 12,875. In this case, I don't need to add the mileage. Do I need to add taxes here? It's already added, right? This is already taxed. So really, all you need to do here is just add these two up. So that's 14,375. 52. I will make a note. Already taxed in A, right? So no need to add taxes, and their down payment doesn't have taxes no matter what. Right, I'll just say this, no tax on down. Okay. So there we go, that's it. Calculate the total residual value of the minivan after tax. I have to change the wording. I changed it already for the next group, but for you, like the province threw this at us kind of halfway through. So it says calculate the total buyout. After tax. So when we're figuring out buyout, we want taxes to be in there. So buyout, if you recall, the formula is residual value, and we add taxes to it. So I need to figure out what is my residual value here. I will do that on the side. Residual value is 62%. 62% of whatever the car was when it was brand new, which we were told is the MSRP. So let's do this first on the side. So that's 17,670. This is important, so I'm going to underline. That would get you a mark in this scenario, figuring out the residual value. So now it's only worth 62% of what it was brand new. Buyout, we take this. Hi there.
We have a candygram for Trisha.
Right there, she's waving. Is that it, or do you have more? That's it for now. Okay. Yeah. And then, so now we take the 17,670 and we add taxes to it. So our grand total here that we're gonna have to pay is 19,790. And watch this. If it's 0.4 on the calculator, we have to go 40. We can't just go 0.4 if you want full marks. That is my final answer. So if all it asks is residual value, you stop there. Don't add taxes. If they talk buyout, right, then it means, okay, I'm going to take my residual and just add taxes to it, and then I'm good. Calculate the total cost of leasing, then buying the car out. You buy it out at the end of the lease. And it's basically just whatever we got in B plus whatever we got in C. That's what's going to happen here. So it's 14,375.52 plus 19,790.40. That's a grand total of 34,165.92. So that's example number 1. I'm going to start 50, but I'm not going to finish page 50. So I'm just going to do the mileage part with you on page 50. And then the rest is going to be, I'm going to give you class time to work through that, okay? It's important that you use that time wisely. So let's go to 50. If I go too fast, you're more than welcome to come and take a picture of my work later, okay? Example 2. This one includes mileage charge. Okay, so Michelle is returning a Toyota Corolla which she leased for We leased it for 3 years. The original purchase price was $24,000 before taxes. Her payments were $310 plus taxes per month. There's a down payment of $4,000. The guaranteed residual value stated in the contract is $15,000. I'm going to use a different color for that one. The guaranteed residual value is $15,600 before tax. And yet I'm going to switch again. This agreement allows for 12,000 kilometers per year with a charge of 15 cents per kilometer over the limit. Let me see what I'm going to do here, because I'm not telling you about the taxes. Yeah, we're going to go plus tax. Plus tax. So make sure you write that down. I should have added that. It should tell you, is that including taxes or is that, before taxes? Okay. And when you return it, the odometer reads 41,200. Okay, so here we go. Mileage charge. I will go kilometers over. I tend to do this first. So I'm going to go 12,000 kilometers. I'm going to multiply it by the number of years. And I'm going to subtract what I actually drove from it. No. Is it the other way in your formula? Yeah. Is it Friday or what? Friday and Mondays, you have to be very careful with me. I make the most mistakes on those days. My bad, my bad. So 41,200 minus 12,000 kilometers times 3 years. So it'll be 41,200 minus 36,000. So you were only allowed to drive 36,000 over the 3 years. When you subtract that, you get 5,200 kilometers, and that's over limit. That's how much you went over the limit. This is what you drove. This is what you were allowed. You're over the limit. Now we're going to do the cost. We take the 5,200 kilometers. Once you figured that out, you just multiply that by 15 cents. And we were told that we had to add taxes to that, so we're going to do this the times 1.12 to make sure we include that. That gives us a total of $873.60. And this is where I'm going to stop, but I'm going to give you the answers. So as you work, so if you want to write that down, they don't always use the word buyout, so be careful. We're going to omit E. All right, so E, only if you're interested. I'm going to zoom out. If you like a challenge, I'm mixing financing here, but you don't have to do it. The payment, if you calculate that, would be that, but I will say optional. Oops. So I'll say you can work the leasing part goes until page 56, but for now I'm just gonna say page 50 to 52 for now. But don't let me stop you. Don't let me stop you, okay? You continue.